14 minutes, a show. I'm Goon, and this is a Season 10 bonus episode featuring Unc D. What's up?
Nothing much, man. Just here hanging out at Bear Cave recording. Our studio here in Youngstown that we do work with owner-operator Thin Thicket.
Shout out. Where are you from?
From Youngstown, man, from Lowville.
Okay.
Currently residing in Kent. And operating out of the greater Cleveland area.
What instrument do you play? What are you famous for?
I'd say I'm probably most famous for bass, but with people like Drake and Khaled, it's mostly been just keyboards. Like most of my ghostwriting, that's gonna be on keyboards. But here with Unc D, it's mostly on bass.
Okay, all right. Unc D is mostly on the bass. Who are some of your favorite bass players?
Oh man, of course gotta love Thundercat.
Is it true that you're called the White Trash Thundercat?
It is true that I'm called a white.
Do you think you're better than Thundercat?
I think it's very clear that
it's close. It's close.
Yes, I would say I am the white trash version of Thundercat at best.
Okay. All right. What is Jazztronica? What does it sound like?
Great question. Jazztronica is when you're mixing like beat making, like hip hop and electronic beat making with improvised performance, like you see with jazz. And what does it sound like? If you could hear anything in the background, that's a little bit what it is. But it's it's your typical kind of groove of music with that jazz solo on top still.
Did you invent it? Who else does it?
No, I did not invent it at all. I rip off of a lot of UK jazz. So people like Kamal Williams, Yusuf Days.
Shout out.
Shout out them. Flying Lotus, you can say, is Jazztronica. And then it even goes deeper than that into the 90s.
Tell me about Mo Fidelity.
That might be best to have Dan talk about Mo Fidelity too. Let's see if we can get our producer in here. He's busy working.
Is there somebody else here?
There's another person here, I think.
Is that a knock at the door? Oh my God, who could it be?
Mo Fidelity is more an idea, kind of a liquid resonance, kind of this ethos. It's not goop, but it's a feeling.
Mo Fidelity kind of sounds like that mask. You think?
It feels like this mask.
Yeah?
Yes.
What else can you tell me about Mo Fidelity? Tell me something about Mo Fidelity that Mo Fidelity doesn't know about Mo Fidelity.
Mo Fidelity is...
That's my cousin's name, by the way.
Mo Fidelity?
Yeah. Ever heard of her?
Hardly know her.
You described her as goopy.
Very goopy, yeah, yes.
It's not a good start. You and my cousin. We're gonna hook you guys up.
I like goop. Yes. Mo Fidelity is a production team, though, and a label / collective goop.
I think I like goop too.
Yeah. It's better than a solid form and far more rigid than a liquid form.
Who are some of the artists that we can catch on Mo Fidelity?
Definitely Unc D.
Definitely Unc D.
Yes, definitely Unc D. Thin Thicket as well.
Isn't that you?
Yes. Yes. And Cotton Mom is another.
Shout out.
Shout out Cotton Mom. And hopefully many more people.
If you like jazz, you like labels, head up Mo Fidelity.
We accept human sacrifice.
Mo Fidelity is a beats project between myself and Thin Thicket on Spotify. Since I can't remember exactly the date when we started, but we put out a track every 2 weeks, and we got enough music right now loaded up all the way until I think well into the fall, the rest of the year. So every 2 weeks, if you follow Mo Fidelity, we basically drop these beats that we make. Some of them get crazy, but there's a lot of music on that Spotify.
Unc D gets crazy. How many strings should a bass have?
It should have anywhere between 7 and 9, but it just depends on what you call a bass at that point.
That's mysterious. I guess that's why you're wearing a mask, though. It's really hard not to dance to this music in the background. You really wrote this?
Yeah, we made this.
I'm proud of this
like
guy.
20 minutes ago.
This is good. 20 minutes ago. Oh my god. From God's lips to your ears.
There you go.
How do you write these kind of like crazy jazz songs? I mean, I never really heard jazz like this before. How do these songs, how did it even come about? They grow out of the ground like plants or what?
They're totally synthetic. Basically, I use an iPad. I think I got it over there somewhere, but don't worry about it. But essentially, a lot of these songs, they'll start out with, I use an app called iReal Pro, where it basically charts out your song, and I'll just kind of just copy and paste chords until they sound right. So not even playing any instruments at all. I'm just kind of abstract picking chords. And then from there, it's just improvising through that structure. But I use a lot of iPad, GarageBand percussion, and Apple loops, and a lot of synthesizers. But man, it's hard to answer that question. But if you're interested in how we make our music, check out our Bandcamp page, because we have production notes on every track, as well as our YouTube. We do pop-up videos on our last couple singles where we'll tell you the story of the song as the song goes.
Not a lot of songs have stories. Most of them are fucking bullshit, huh? Who does your video editing?
That's all me. I do it all on an iPad on CapCut.
That shit's dope.
Thanks, man. But I just try to export, and I just try to not tax my 64 gig iPad as much as I can, which is tricky with video editing.
Yeah, my computer's fucking old, dude. Believe me, we're on the same page on that one. What is Harshmellow?
Harshmellow is the name of an early song of mine, but it's the name of my first album.
Okay.
And it's pretty much a concept of my live project, and especially my early sound. But essentially, it means that there's you're always going to have a duality in your music of a harsh and a mellow. So like my harsh might be my chord progressions, where they might have an irregular movement to them, but the mellow is maybe the grooves, right? Or the harsh is my aggressive bass, but the mellow is that nice keyboard moves. It's always a duality.
How many other albums have you released besides that first one?
I think total we're at maybe 4 or 5 albums total.
Okay.
But there will be more this year, a ton more. Starting in April, I'll be releasing a new release every 2 weeks. And for 2022, we'll have a total 4 LPs, 3 EPs, and 3 singles.
Dope.
So every 2 weeks, something's coming out. And every year now, the last album I put out, Unprecedented Volume 1, is basically a collection of all the songs I put out throughout a year, and then an alternative version for each of those. And now every year we're going to put out Unprecedented, where they're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. This one was 36 tracks, but next year, because we have all these other albums, I'm just dumping everything I have. And I'm hoping to get to like 6-7 hours on Unprecedented, either this year or next year, but we're just trying to have a stupid amount of music out there,
It's all good to me. I like it all. Keep putting it out, man. Did the creators of Always Sunny in Philadelphia really steal your music and use it without permission?
I knew you were going to ask about this, Paul.
You didn't.
Can we talk about this?
Was I supposed not? Nobody told me that I couldn't ask this guy this.
All right, he talked to. All right, we can talk about this. All right. So back when Always Sunny happened, they basically sampled one of our songs. Long story short, Always Sunny ripped off one of our songs, put it in a news segment, and literally millions in royalties we missed out on at that time. Back when that show first came on, I think FX or whatever it was on, it's on cable, we were ghostwriting for Drake. Most of Drake's early stuff was made here in Youngstown. Ghostwritten, not credited. They didn't give us any credit, but we 100% wrote 5 songs on his second album. Around that same time, and that was my career was supposed to blow up. And I was supposed to be, right now, I'm not supposed to be in Youngstown here. I'm not supposed to be here. I was supposed to blow up back then. And, you know, I didn't get my credit. They stole my song.
Drake doesn't pay his ghostwriters.
No, he doesn't, man.
Who is DJ Flipphone? Is that you?
I don't think so, man. I don't think that person exists anymore. Let's just say some aspects of herself you have to bury sometimes.
That sounds scary. Big stages or small stages?
Definitely small stages if I'm talking about what kind of stages I'm playing on. But it all depends on, I guess, who's around, you know, because you know, some people, I guess, you want to be farther away. Some people, you know, I don't know.
Some people you want to be farther
Sometimes you
away.
might want to have some space in between a rowdy crowd, or
Yeah.
sometimes you might want to be right there with them.
Those sweaty girls that stand in the front row with
Dude.
the pit stains.
Not with my 85% male Spotify demographic. It's mostly sweaty men.
Whatever. Don't sweat on Unc D. He don't want it. Speaking of things Unc D doesn't want you to do, what's up with people touching your fucking bass, man?
That's I knew you were gonna bring this up too, bro. That's a whole thing.
I have to
dude.
bring up the hard-hitting questions.
I know.
Nobody else is going to ask you this. Nobody has a balls to even talk about this right now.
It's just one of those things, man, where you know more than anybody when you're posting stuff online, people get these ideas in their head. What you see in front of the camera isn't always what is behind the camera, right? So somebody might think they're being funny, trying to do something, and pull these pranks on people because in the clip, you know, it looks funny, I get it, but you just don't realize who you're hurting. You don't realize what kind of damage you can do to a person or just a man.
You've been hurt a lot lately, haven't you? Like multiple different people have hurt you. Who touched you? Who did it first? How did this all start?
Can we talk about this?
Guys?
No, I don't want to answer that question.
Okay. Next question.
Next question.
Who was the last person to touch your bass? That wasn't you.
Whoever the fuck that is.
Have you been training some kind of like martial arts to fend off people who touch your bass? Is that true?
That's one of those things, man, where you say you're gonna do it, but you don't follow up. But what I have been doing is I've been reading up a lot of like the alpha beta type thing, man. Like I've been reading a lot of books, watching a lot of different like podcasts where, you know, it's really helping me kind of switch my ways.
How to become an alpha male.
How to become an alpha.
Just watch videos of lions eating.
It's been a little bit of that, you know.
Become the lion.
Becoming the lion, yeah, you know. But yeah.
Do you see this as like a continuing trend? Is there a way to put a stop to this? Is it gonna keep happening?
You know, I've been trying to stop the spread of bass cancels since literally 2020. And it's tough, man. It only happens when the cameras are there. I'll just say that. Just like fake friends and some fake ass bitches, They only show up when the cameras show up, man. On gigs that we don't have any, cameras, no live stream, there hasn't been a single bass cancel. But I don't want to name any names of the people who have canceled me, but let's just say that they only do so when they can get that clout.
Fade.
Yeah,
Fade.
it's clout chasing, man. It's like Hype House, but worse. It's like Hype House at a jam session.
I'm Paul Goon. He's Unc D. You're clout chasing. That's 13 minutes.